13th in the championship. The takeover happened as I said it would. People will be. Oh, when have we got Leeds? Now then, people, welcome back to.
That confused me a second.
Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you're all doing well. Sorry about the lack of presser reaction. I totally forgot. And I'm going to watch Saw, the new Saw, soon. So I've been smashing the Saw films in chronological order because I actually really enjoy them, and it just totally slipped my mind. Normally, Danny Rumsey reminds me, and he didn't, so I'll have to have a word with him. But yeah, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. We're here for your big match live preview ahead of QPR. Will Leeds United bounce back with 3 points? I think we all hope they will. We'll get into it. We'll have a chat about it. A chat about QPR. Chat about Leeds United. Will he make changes, etc. We shall have to wait and see. Just big out to Stacey as well, who's been a member now for 8 months on the channel, which is great to see. So big up to you, Stace, one of the OGs of the channel for sure. Before we talk about the game, let's just check in with people. Lockie, how are you, mate? Tired from uni?
No, yeah, it's long days, mate. Uni and football combined now. It's 2 of them. There's 2. But yeah, it's good.
Do you reckon you're a bit of a baller?
I'm not even playing, mate. That's it.
Are you a baller though? Just
I used to be, not anymore. I used to be.
Not anymore.
You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see one day, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully. I've seen little video clips of you actually, with your Xavi scan. Right. Turn.
We'll see. Yeah, I'm not fit enough for that anymore.
No. Never mind.
The Halifax De Bruyne.
Yeah, the Halifax De Bruyne. I love that. How are you, Andrea? How's things for you, mate?
Good, mate. Good.
Yeah.
Tired too. Like Loki, working, and I've been retaining some time to write for the book I'm trying to write. But so full. The mind is in full swing, you know. So
yeah, of course.
Sometimes it's a bit of ups and downs in terms of how to balance one thing to the other.
You need balance, yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
We're trying to move, you know.
It's been difficult. I hear it, mate, because I've had to find a little bit of balance with the channel and that as well. That's why there's probably not been as much content, because I was running myself into the ground, especially after. I mean, all 3 of us did actually. You were a big part of it during the transfer window month and stuff, and I just think I'm paying for it now. But yeah, it is what it is. It's something it's always hard to find balance in life, innit? We know that all too well. I was actually looking earlier at the fixtures for the coming months, and then I thought, bloody hell. Like in December, we've got about 7 games, and then it'll be straight into January. And I was thinking, we'll have the return of late night Leeds and that. I said, I might have to get some like Pro Plus and Monster on like bulk for January, because I feel it's going to be another wild one. But yeah, new chair, someone says. Oh no, not new chair. This is the old chair. This just got Marco on it.
Yes.
Yeah, Ilias chair. Yeah, Marco just, instead of being at my feet, I just thought I'll put it in here for him. You know what I mean?
Is it the mascot of Barnsley? You used to be the mascot of Barnsley.
Yeah,
right?
It looks like it actually, doesn't it? The Tykes.
The old logo, yeah.
Yeah, it does, to be fair. Danny Rumsey says Andrea's book, 50 Shades of Russo. I don't think it's going to be that.
Yeah, they were fun. They were fun.
Yeah. What's your book on, by the way?
I'm trying to write down one about the history of the derby between Reggiana and Parma, you know, because it's one of the biggest derbies in Italy. But of course, we played this recently, you know, after the first time since 2017. But the previous time it was in Serie A in 1997, and it's one of the biggest and heated derbies in Italy. So I've been trying to recover the history of that, because for me, if you look at the history, it's on the same level of, for example, Genoa and Sampdoria or other big derbies in Italy, because the level of heat and bitterness is over the moon. You should come in May when we play them at home, because it'd be absolutely mental. It'd be 30,000 people. It'd be
keep it on the wraps, mate.
Amazon
will be watching.
Let's do that, bro. Let's book that trip for May, and we can vlog it and put it out on the channel. Let's get Lockie, me, over to you in May. That would be amazing. Let's make it happen. I think that would be great.
Hopefully, I can visit soon too. Because
Yeah,
I was gonna say that because there were a lot of people asking recently in the chat when I was going to come to another. Hopefully soon. The operation should be the 20th of October. So then after that, I have a little bit of rehab, and after that, a small one. No, don't worry, very small one. It's a daily one, but it's the rehab, the long part of it. Because another bucket list that I have is on the 12th of November, Lazio versus Roma. I would like to go there honestly and watch the Rome derby, because it's it's always been a dream of mine to witness that fixture, But yeah, after that, probably when I fully recovered, I'll be able to visit to visit and watch a game finally after last season, the botched one.
Yeah, I definitely it's going to be good. I just want to say as well, like, for everyone that do you know the last final word in terms of comments and interactions is like double what we normally get on the final word? Like the Liam Cooper chat was absolutely insane. I was getting pelters. Me and Luke were called the two bald idiots and all this, and everyone was like Team Kate and that, and it was mad, honestly. So everyone that interacted on that. I even got an apology off someone who called me a tit, if you remember. He actually messaged me and said, I'm sorry. I went, yeah. I understand it, though. We all get emotions with football. I almost did a reply video to say, like, not at one point did I say he should start, by the way. I didn't say that. I was just backing him, but it is what it is. It was a great vid, actually. Great discussion. I really enjoyed it. But listen, Wednesday, tomorrow night, we've got QPR. QPR are not a great side. They've gone backwards. Obviously, they had Michael Beale for a period of time. He left to go to Rangers. I think he'd originally turned down Wolves and then eventually went to Rangers after saying, no, I'm here for the long haul. And then sort of gone backwards under Gareth Ainsworth. He's a bit of a direct manager, I believe. I don't see a lot of him, but I know he played with Akinfenwa previously at Wickham, and that's what they tended to do, just get it up to the big man. They haven't won a game in 4 now. They're not going great in the league. Probably will stay in the division, but this is a team for me that we should be beating. I think my only concern is low block. We're going to see a team a lot like Sheff Wednesday, and this is going to be a real test, because since Sheff Wednesday, we've not really come up against that, have we? We've played teams that have wanted to play or have been a little bit more expansive, whereas I expect QPR, especially away from home, and Andre will tell us some more in a sec, but he was saying before we came live, I don't think they've conceded away from home in the last couple of games, which shows how they operate away from home. And the onus is going to be on Leeds United, and it's going to be interesting to see whether or not we've learned from Sheff Wednesday, in effect, because everyone's concerned going to Millwall, and even against Watford for a period of time, it was very much, we're not taking our chances. It's going to be another 0-0, and it wouldn't surprise me if tomorrow's 0-0. But we can't. If I'm being honest now, we're leaving ourselves a lot to do. Now I know there's a long way to go, but Ipswich are winning 2-0 tonight. Leicester will probably win again tomorrow. The gap's getting it's getting very big, is what I'm saying. And I know there's a long way to go, but I don't want no playoff chat. I can't be arsed with that. As much as if you could give me guaranteed going up in the playoffs final over winning the league, I take the playoff final every day, because it's a final, it's Wembley, it's, oh my God, on one day. Over winning the league, genuinely, I would. But I'd rather just get out in second as opposed to having to go to the final and maybe losing. You know what I mean? It's a double-edged sword. So for me, we need to chase down that top 2. And yeah, I mean, it's getting... How do you feel about that, Lockie? Do you think I'm being... Is it too early to say? Obviously, it's like almost 9. If I look at live standings now, right, Ipswich are top on 25. We're 12th on 13. So... you know, it's a lot. It's a lot of points. It's 12 currently, and I know we haven't played yet, but even if we win, it's 9. If we didn't win, for example, it stays at 12, bro, and it's a lot. It's a lot of games to claw back.
It is, but there's plenty of points in this league, and they're like in the Premier League. You're looking at what 4 or 5 weeks. In this league, it could be 2 weeks, and then suddenly you know, if they lose 2 or 3, we win 2 or 3. Suddenly you're a game behind them. So it's. I genuinely I don't look at table that much, to be honest. I just don't like it. It just stresses me out. So I just don't bother anymore. Ever since we've been finished 9th, I've not looked at the table really. Just where are we? We're in bottom 3, right? That's all I need to know. Right. Let's just keep winning. That's all you got to do when you're not where you want to be, right? You just got to win. That's all we can do. All the players can do now. Just win. Just do as good as we can and win. And that's all we can really do. And as fans, it's we can't do it on the pitch. We've not got the ability to do it. So you're kind of relying on them, aren't you? That's the stressful thing about being a fan. Because we all want to do it because we're fans and we do everything for that shirt. But fortunately, we're not good enough. So we have to rely on them. And that's the stressful thing. So they've just got to put a job in. Win, just win. That's it. That's football, right? Just win as much as you can, and then suddenly 3 weeks we'll look at the table. We could be right up there again. That's the, or we could be right down there. But that's the makings of it. That's how wild it is. You look at Sunderland, first few games were miles off it. Now they're shooting right up. You know, teams will look. I just feel like they're shooting up it slowly. They're catching everyone up that was above us. So we'll be all right. Let's just enjoy these next few games, hopefully. That's the goal, isn't it? To win.
Yes, to win it is. What about you, Andrea? What are your thoughts on top 2 chase down chat? Is it too soon to be talking about it?
No, for me not. But I was smiling when you were saying that, because the only point I can see positive than in terms of playing the playoff final more than going up with the automatic spots is the economic one, because the revenue with the playoff final is bigger. That's what went through my mind in that specific moment. But I think tomorrow we need to tackle 3 points. Absolutely. We've won 1 in 4 at home. We need to start winning. We play against a team in crisis. If you look at the game against Coventry, they had their chances. They felt they were badly. They were penalized by the referee, but if you look at their games, they concede a lot. They don't look a good side. So honestly, for me, it's a must-win game tomorrow. There's no other result really, because it's time we get some consistency, and we should start by tomorrow. When you have a team currently in the relegation places visiting you, and you're coming down from the Premier League, a team struggling, you have to win. We cannot afford to repeat what happened against Sheffield Wednesday, and I'm glad you mentioned the low block, because of course they try to probably play that a lot with that formation. We see that later, but hopefully we have learned from the past, because we dropped 2 points against Sheffield Wednesday. Really, we dropped 2 points against WBA, West Brom.
For sure.
So honestly, also against Cardiff, but it was the first game and we were trailing, we were behind in the game. Falke said that was a game we should have been winning, but we were happy with the point in the end, because we equalized in added time and we were 2-0 behind. It's time we make Hernan Road a fortress again, really, like it was against Watford, and we get some consistency. So I think if we want to finish in the top 2, especially looking at the teams you mentioned, like Leicester and Ipswich really look like Norwich. I'm sorry to compare the two of them. If there's some Canaries and Tractor Boys fans in the chat, but they look like Norwich in 2010, 2011, when they were under Paul Lambert, and they got promoted from League One to the Championship and then to the Premier League.
Southampton did something similar under Atkins as well.
You know, my confidence in that is, though, like, I know Leicester are flying away with it, but looking at Ipswich, we battered them. I know it was 4-3, but come on, we created a lot of their own chances, didn't we? Do you know what I mean? That's so on our day, we are better than these teams. Yeah, absolutely. We are better. That's what's frustrating, isn't it? I think the two better teams, right? On paper, the 2 better teams right now. Of course, I said Southampton because in preseason they are not Antella, they are Ward-Prowse. They don't have those players anymore. So my championship in my table were Southampton, but they sold all their best players basically. So they're not there anymore for me. The 2 best teams in the league are us and Leicester on paper. If you look at the squads,
then in terms of form and also a complexion in every role, I think Norwich can also be the outsider up there for me. But yeah, we're surely behind right now on the real level of the squad. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just had a look as well, and Leicester play Preston tomorrow. We're third, and then on the weekend Ipswich play Preston. So really, we could do with Preston winning, at least taking points off one of them and just making sure they stay in touch. Because if Leicester and Ipswich both beat Preston in third, the gap's just getting bigger and bigger, and then there's a lot of pressure then on when we played Leicester, and a lot of pressure on them. You know what I mean? And it's just, I know there's a long way to go, but at the minute, as much as it pains me to say it, I just don't see Leicester dropping off at all. I think Leicester are going to win the league now, and that's minging. But like, if you look at some of their stats as well, like, not that I respond to him anymore, but Lockie always reminds me of stuff. And he put a post in our WhatsApp group.
Locks, yeah.
Locks. I said Lockie, didn't I? Sorry. You were like, what? No, but he put a post in terms of from not the top 20 and most goals scored, Leicester second. Highest XG for, Leicester first. Average possession, Leicester second. Fewest goals against, Leicester first. Lowest XG against, Leicester second. They're in every single metric in the top 3. So yeah, it's just it's looking a bit bleak.
Hopefully, I jinxed it, but I think Leicester and Ipswich will be Preston. Honestly, I think Preston are overperforming, and they will. Their form will drop. Yeah, if you remember, I placed them in the relegation fight at the start of my table, so I think at the end they finish in mid-table. Honestly,
what's Leicester's injuries? Have they got any bad injuries?
I'm not sure, mate. I'm not sure.
Who?
Leicester. I can tell you now, actually, to be fair, mate. I'll have a look.
All it takes is 2 or 3 injuries, mate, and that's it. Remember, we've still got Nonto come back. We've got Jed Spence to come back, who transforms that team. I think 2 big players there.
It's insane if you look at their attack. They have Vardy, of course, and they had Ian Achendak on the bench in one game.
Yeah, Tom Cannon as well. They got Tom Cannon.
He's not playing.
No, well, he's injured. That's what I'm saying. So Dennis Pratt. Tom Cannon, Callum Doyle, Vestergaard, Casey McAteer, they're all out at the minute for Leicester.
Just Burial also in the squad. They have a hell of players. In the squad. Of course, we didn't rate wings, but it's fair to say he's playing well, and it suits their system. So
yes,
what's right, it's right. And
yeah, exactly. It's but let's talk a little bit about QPR then. Let's talk about QPR, because like you said, at the end of the day, this is a team Leeds United should be beating. This is a team that are currently in the relegation zone. The last team we faced who was down there, obviously Sheff Wednesday, it didn't go to plan. Are we expecting a different outcome? Because I can't lie to you, if we don't score early, I think it's going to be a long evening for Leeds United.
Well,
it's mad what one game can do to you, isn't it?
It's mad. But yeah, honestly, I think they're different from Sheffield Wednesday. I think usually say we need to bring some verticality because they will try to crowd the middle. But this time we have to use the wings for me. They're different from Sheffield Wednesday. They leave a lot of space on the wings, and we see that
the fullbacks
in the analysis. Yeah, with the fullbacks, exactly, because they have one left wing back in Kenneth Pal, and on the right they don't have a right wing back. They have a right midfielder, a right winger in Paul Smith, for example. So they're not balanced because they have an attacker on one side and a defender on the other one.
Paul Smith. What an English name that is.
It's actually Northern Irish.
It's spelled with a Y. It's spelled with a Y,
like Gavin Smith from Oxford, but yeah, I think if we use the wings and play a lot of one-on-one, Wade Rotor in the middle, in the 10, please, in the 10, not in the 9, and let's play Pirro at front, because there'll be spaces on the wings. There'll be spaces for crosses. There'll be spaces for one-on-ones. And if one of the wingers gets past his man, he can be the option near the penalty spot, going inside and clinching the whole action and shooting from that position. Hopefully it's a big game for Rotter too, because if he plays in the 10, I've seen that they struggle when they have a number 10 moving in the final third all around and interacting a lot. It's a verb that's eluding me, like how do you say that? Interpassing, with the wingers. I think there'll be a different outcome for sure than compared to the one against Wednesday.
Well, let's talk about QPR. I know you've done a few little slides and stuff for us, Andrea, so thank you for doing that. But let's have a chat. I know both sides, actually, both Leeds and QPR lost 3-1. Obviously, in the last game, QPR's winless run extended now to 4 outings. Leeds United unbeaten at home so far this season as well, so that's a feather in our cap. So yeah, I'm just having a look. QPR have just lost once in their last 4 away games, though, winning 2 and drawing 1. So they have a pretty decent record, maybe better setup to playing away from home than they are at home. But let's have a look into QPR, dude.
Yeah. Before we put live the slides, just a quick fact, of course, to remind ourselves what we're talking about, of course. QPR, like I said, they're currently in the relegation places because they have just 8 points. The only 2 teams with lower points are Rotherham with 5 and Sheffield Wednesday 2. I don't know if the table has changed there right now, honestly. If there's some changes because of the games tonight, but this was the table before
they're 22nd, mate. 8. Yeah. Rotherham have 5. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday are getting 8 currently.
So it's an unchanged.
Yeah, unchanged.
Of course, they started the league with a 4-0 thrashing by the ends of Watford, and Gareth Ainsworth said probably we've played the potential league winners. So
I remember that actually.
The mood around Loftus Road is not that good, because when you start a team in the league and you face a team in the league, of course, and you have those troubles in the first game, and you say that, of course, it's not with the right foot, Then they've won 2 games, just 2. One at Cardiff, both away actually. 1-1 at Cardiff and 1 at Borough. They have recently, the last game at the weekend, lost 3-1 at home and Loftus Road against Coventry. But before that, they had 2 draws, a 1-1 against Swansea and a goalless draw at Birmingham. The last time we played them, actually, it was the 11th of February 2019. The 2th of November 2019 at Elland Road. We won 2-0. The first goal, guess who scored that goal?
Tyler Roberts.
Exactly.
I was there. I remember it. An horrible toothache, but I was there. I remember that.
Second one. You remember the second goal scorer too?
I think I was too much pain by that point, mate.
A player playing at Everton right now.
Jack Harrison.
Exactly, Jack Harrison. Yeah. Of course, our manager was Bielsa, the Edward Barton. A lot of time has passed from there. So we can go into the deep dive now and see their I think they will line up.
Cool. Just get that. Yep.
Okay. This is the basically the usual formation. They usually play with a 3-4-2-1. They have one injury problem, actually, because after 5 minutes against Coventry, Morgan Fox, Welsh international, was subbed off injured, and it was replaced in the starting in the then playing squad by Clark Sorter from the former Chelsea product. So actually, I think, of course, Begovic will be the starting goalkeeper. 3 at the back again, but of course, when they're not in possession and we're defending, you'd be like a 5 at the back, Chair dropping there, 3 in midfield, and either Smith or Armstrong up behind Dykes, who's like their target man, the player who is in charge of receiving the long ball, put up a physical fight and try to stretch the team and hold up the ball in order to, of course, help the team in moving forward in the length of the pitch. Okay, first of all, a disclaimer. They played the last game with Clark Sorter after the injury of Fox, Cook, and Kakai, the player for Sierra Leone. And they had Smith here on the right. They had Dozzle and Field in the middle. Pal, who was playing basically in this area from through the whole length of the left wing there as the left wing back. They had Chair and Willock here and Dykes up front. I think they were playing a slightly different system because they have Jimmy Dunn and Jack Colback, of course, both former Premier League players. Of course, Colback is more experienced. Dunn had just a taste of the Premier League with Burnley. They are returning from injury. I've listened to what Gareth Ainsworth said, and I think Colback will start because he really praised Colback, what he brings to the team, the importance of making that signing during the summer, because he's moved there, of course, from Forest during the summer. So I think they'll go for a more balanced formation with the two proper fullbacks. Pal on the left, the Dutch player, and on the right, Kakai. Because Kakai played like the right centre back, but he's not right centre back.
He's not the lad from City, is he? No.
Oh no, it won't be. Surely, no. I mean, gone to Brazil, no. I know what you're on about. Let's have a look.
I thought you were a winger, so I don't think he is. If you play centre back,
let me just check.
Yeah, check that. Because I didn't know.
Yeah, he's gone back to. Yeah, he's gone back to Brazil. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Club Bahia on loan from Man City. Yeah, it's not him. Yeah, because he's a wonder kid, isn't he? A wunderkid. I was thinking.
Keiki.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. This one is from Sierra Leone. Loki is and Sierra Leone international. He's a fullback. He's not a centre back, and we'll see that later because he really struggles in terms of positioning. Because both Pal and Kakai, they used to play in a back five. They struggle to play. They will struggle to play in a back four. Honestly, trust me, because they're not very good at defending. They're not very good. So I think their information for tomorrow, looking at our attacking powder, but I will be playing with five basically, with the three centre backs and the two full backs, attacking and joining the attack, the two defensive midfielders, the two midfield anchors in the middle, but also going back and when we're attacking, making a back five basically.
Is that Adoma? Is that the one who played for Villa? Is that him?
Yeah, it's him.
Okay.
Villa.
Oh, it's Albert Adoma, yeah?
Yeah, it's Albert Adoma, yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's Albert Adoma is still doing it in the Championship, yeah. He's not a starter, of course. He's barely played this season. He's usually a sub. They have this kid, actually, Sinclair Armstrong. He's physical, he's fast. He can play in the 9, he can play, I think, the position for me is behind Dykes for me. He's recently made his debut for the Republic of Ireland. So it's one to watch, really. He's a very good player for the Championship right now. But I think if he keeps doing what he's doing, because he's really improved already since the start of the season, and also at his debut with the Republic of Ireland, he's really rated by the Irish fans too. I think he can be also one to watch for the future for a potential Premier League side in the next couple of years, honestly. But to finish it up, I think they usually play with Dozzle, who's more box to box, and Field, who's like their player with vision, But I think they'll switch with Colback and Field because it gives them more balance, actually, because these two are more defensive players, And if those two go up, you have more cover with these two than Dozzle and Field, honestly. So this is how I would line up if I were Gareth Ainsworth, of course. Up front, there's the option of Paul Smith. They have acquired him from Leyton Orient. He was promoted last season to League One with them, and then made the double jump from the League Two to the Championship with QPR. And of course, our most talk man in the summer, Ilyas Cheyer, actually, Moroccan pronunciation. And of course, Lyndon Dykes, Scottish-Australian player, the target man up front, is struggling right now. And actually, their top goal scorer is Kenneth Pal right now at QPR. the two strikers are really struggling. But yeah, they have some options, because they can play with Armstrong or Dykes. They can play behind Dykes with also Paul Smith or Alberto Doma. They have Willock or this youngster Colley. There's options, but as you can see, if you get past those two players, like we will see in a bit, you have a lot of space here, and those two are not fast if they go forward. And usually when they attack, those two follow the attack and stay outside of the box. If you recover the ball, there's a lot of spaces, and that's why I said the number 10, hopefully Rotter, will be crucial tomorrow as a link up between the wingers and the midfield, honestly. So let's start from how they attack. First of all, I usually analyze and all of that, but really from what I've seen, the main plan, and I've seen that Ainsworth is really criticized by the lack of tactics, by the QPR fans, and I have to agree, because basically the main tactic is give the ball to Ilias Chair or Paul Smith and let them do the one-on-one.
That'd be my tactic too, mate.
It's like pass it to Rafa.
Yeah.
Like that. And
or Nonto last season, wasn't it?
Yeah, or Nonto last season, exactly.
Give it him.
Yeah, give it to him, exactly. Here we have this slide taken from the game against at Birmingham, a goalless draw in the end. As you can see, they gave the ball to Smith. Those two, here you have Field, Dozzell is behind. Here you have Dykes, because as you can see, those two, Armstrong and Dykes, they both played in this game, and they do exactly what Pirro and Rotter do. They interchange.
Okay.
Exactly. As you can see, Armstrong is the number 9, and Dykes is playing as an advanced midfielder. Let's call it like that, because basically, those two, Chair and one of the advanced midfielders, they usually interchange. Basically, when they both play, it's a 4-4-2 or a more 4-4-1-1 with those two interchanging. Here you see one of the two centre mids usually follows up with the other one staying a little bit behind. He's not even in the picture here, Dozzell. And he's following in the attack. And at the end of this action, Smith gets past the player here and crosses into the middle, and that's Field making the central cut and trying to make a header here. But as you can see, it's one-on-one Smith. Now we see in the next picture also, they pass the ball to Cherry. It's the same thing, They let them play the one-on-one and follow up with one of the midfielders, and one of those two staying on the edge of the area to provide an option if he gets stuck there, and the other one going inside like Field is doing here. So it's like I said, the strikers are interchanging, the winner goes one-on-one, and we have to keep an eye out in this situation for the central cut from one of the two CMs. Probably be Field tomorrow, because Colback is not very good in doing that, honestly. He did that against us, actually.
Was Colback suspended or injured?
No, he was. He had an injury problem. Yeah, injury problem, but he's back now. Okay. But actually, I said that he's not going in doing that, but he did that against us when Bielsa was in charge, and we lost 4-2 at Forest. I think it was. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah. The next Lloyd, it's a similar situation, as you can see. This one is against Swansea. You have Chair again, and here is in the middle. You have Smith again, 1-on-1. As you can see, they try to crowd the area here. You have Dozzell. One, like I said, the other side, one of the centre mids goes forward and stays in the edges of the box, or goes inside like Field in the previous picture. Here you have Dozzell following up and going inside, and you have Field staying in behind to provide a pass option. If he gets stuck here, Smith, he can pass it to Kakai, and Kakai can play the ball to Field. But as you can see, 1-on-1, marked by two players. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, and the option of the overlap by Palier. You have basically 5 players trying to crowd in the middle. They usually do this. They play the ball to the winger, then crowd the middle, and if they lose the ball, they're in trouble, because you have just Field and Kakai here defending, plus the other two centre backs. So it's a really risky style of football for me.
I was going to ask Andre, just on that quickly. Yeah, so if they go man for man on the wide 1v1s, I think that's a big game that Sam Byram has to start, given 1v1 is probably our best fullback by far, isn't it? 1v1.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because there were some questions from Fark today where it wasn't so clear whether he can still play 3 games in a week, so it'd be interesting to see. But he did mention there's been more recovery, so it might be that Byram plays this one and then misses the one at the weekend. because he said there's been quite a bit of recovery, but between Wednesday and the weekend there's going to be less because of some time of kickoff and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be interesting.
I'll play Brighton, honestly. Look, I play Brighton because they usually do this. They play the ball to the winger. The two creative player, actually winger. The two advanced midfielders because they play narrow behind the striker. Then they move up because basically you can see it here. I put right winger to Smith because he was playing as the right midfielder, and the left midfielder was basically Pal, but he's more like a left wing back. So really, it's unbalanced because you have one winger on one side, one attacking player, and one ideally left back on the other one, and then you have Chair in the middle. They play with Chair and Willock in the last one, but they had Smith, so they have 3 attacking players and just one defensive player here. They're a little bit unbalanced in certain situations because ideally you have, like in the last picture, Chair stretching out left and Smith on the right, but here they are on the pitch also Willock, so they were playing in a different formation from the previous picture with both Chair and Willock joining the attack and Smith playing as the right winger and Palm basically playing as the left winger. So there were like 4 players staying back. But if you lose that, there's a lot. If you're a team that has a pace, there's a lot of space in the middle, also on the wings, because if you get past Kakai here, there's like the Yorkshire Moors, behind them. So it's like that. And I'm glad you mentioned man-to-man, because when they defend, they play man-on-man, really. They play man-on-man. It's really risky. It's really risky for them, man-on-man, because if you are too aggressive, and Kakai and Pal are really aggressive, you risk to be dribbled, get past, and you leave a spot open, You are really open to a counter-attack. Then also, here we have another example here, too. See, ball to Chair this time, not Smith. Smith is on the other side. As you can see, this time Chair has drifted wide, not in the middle. Willock is covering the space where Chair was in the previous picture, So he's basically playing as the left winger here. And the other player, when the Chair is moving wide and it's not saying central, Pal stays back as an option. And like I said previously, the 2 center mids join the attack and stay on the edge of the box. Field and Dozel here. If he dribbles here, they get here. So it's really unbalanced in that case for me. It really is. It's risky for a team playing for safety to avoid relegation, really. They have talent, and I agree with Fak. On paper, they look better than the league position, but their tactics are questionable, honestly, to be fair. Because as you can see here, a team playing against Swansea, of course, Swansea hadn't started well in the league, but look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the final third. It's a little bit not very much balance for me. Of course, I have my idea of football. Everyone is entitled to its idea of football, but for me, looking at the squad, it's really unbalanced. Especially those 2 needed at least one of them should stay a little bit behind, provide some cover. Both of them going forward, it's risky for me. So this is the other example. Now we talk about the attack. I mentioned the wings. Here you have them losing the ball, and as you can see, you have Pal. I mentioned he's aggressive like Kakai. He went for the man. The man turned around, passed the ball into the space, and of course, what they needed to do here, Coventry in this case, they needed to attack in the space left behind, left open by Pal, and that's exactly what they did here. So as you can see, the 3 centre backs here, Kakai, Cook, and Clark-Salter. Pal follows his man, because like I said, they play man-on-man. Here, Chair was in this area. He tried to provide cover from the spot left open by Pal, following his man. They have a whole space open here. So this player from Coventry has a lot of space to go one-on-one against Clark-Salter. Cook will follow Sims here, the Coventry number 9. Dozel will go on this man. And Kakai will watch for this man, but look where they're looking. They're all looking at the ball. So if you go one-on-one and get past him, you have an advantage already.
And Andrea. And imagine, you see where Pal is there, that guy's just turned him, right?
Yeah.
The players we've got, Jorginho Ruta's going to do that 5-6 times a game, innit?
Yeah, exactly.
Realistically.
It's what you need to do. That's why I said that Rotor needs to move all around, have a lot of free roam in the final third.
Like against Watford, he did that, didn't he? A lot.
Exactly.
Just ran with it past them midfielders too easily.
Yeah, exactly. And the two midfielders is actually, also the two CMs. I think if you look here, you need to follow the attack because I think, especially, of course, probably not Ampadu, but the other player, probably Gray, will have spaces in the middle. I think because you see, one of them usually, like I said, has an higher position than the other one. PLDR was higher on the pitch than Dozzle. And like I said, they're not very fast. They're similar players, and especially if Kolbach plays, that's a chance for a ball carrying or a central cut from one of our midfielders. For me, especially carrying the ball and finding the winger, or providing a space for the number 10 to join the attack alongside the number 9 for me, and that's the other one. So this is another example of that. As you can see here, they're trying to play narrow formation. Pal has gone back to play with the 5. But like I said, Pal is a left back. Smith, who plays as the right midfielder. Pal, let's remember, because they played a 3-4-2-1. He's playing in the left midfielder role, but he's naturally a left back. So he rightly goes back and tries to join the 5 back line. Smith is not a defender. It's a 4 back line then, because you have Kakai, Fox, and Cook. So there's a lot of space here, because the ball from here goes there. You can go with the 1-on-1. You have Dozzle and Field sprinting back from where they were up front. Chair is basically bird watching here, because, of course, if they recover the ball, he'll be the one restarting the attack, covering the ball, and Dykes will try to sprint.
Yeah.
Of course,
I'll be honest, mate. Just looking at that, like we showed the Watford how they played a low block at times, and it looked off, it looked wrong. That don't look good to me.
Yeah, Kakai, you know what he does here? He goes straight into him. He goes straight into him. He's too aggressive. Both him and Pal, they're too aggressive.
You can see him there, can't you? Look, he's just sprinting.
He's sprinting. It's
What's
like
he doing?
that meme of Schwarzenegger when on Twitter when he's ready to run. It's like that. He sprints and he goes straight into him. So those two are really aggressive. You need to do the 1-on-1 against them.
Sure,
and of course, if you get
stood still as well. Sorry.
No, you need to do the 1-on-1 really, because there'll be a lot of space here. There's not much balance on the wing, so of course, like I said, Kakai and Pal really aggressive on the ball. Then we move to this one. Here, what has happened? Anderson, I think this one is the winger of Birmingham, at the ball here. Miyoshi, the number 10, usually playing in this area, arrived here. This player passed the ball to Miyoshi. Miyoshi has the triple threat, like they call it in basketball, He can go central, he can try a pass or a through ball towards the attacker, or he can carry the ball and rightly, like I will do, play the ball here, because it's 2 against 1 here. Yeah. If he goes there, Anderson can overlap, he can attack Fox here. But as you can see, Pal, like a guy in the previous picture, I sounded a little bit Spanish with this accent. He sprinted and he was over aggressive, and got done in behind, by the space he left by this player. So basically, like you see, here, there's a lot of space on the wing, and that's why I said number 10 and wingers are crucial. Here again, Dozzle and Field covering, and Dozzle going back. You have Kakai with 2 players near him, 2 players here and 3 here. Cook, he doesn't know, because if Miyoshi goes central, he doesn't know if he has to cover for this one who's got past Kakai, or for this one going central. So there's a risk of breaking the line, here. So
yeah. Again, mate, looking at that, just you got Pal who's behind the winger. You've got Cher who's recovering. You've got Sam Field who's kind of in no man's land. He needs to be a bit close to the defence, I think. There, you've got Morgan Fox there who's kind of just on his flat feet, isn't he? He's not. He doesn't look like he's in a position to change direction or go to the ball. He's just kind of stood. And at the back post, as you say, 3v.
They're not narrow, you.
Yeah, 3v2 at the back because Josel's behind the play as well. Yeah, there's definitely. Yeah, this gives me confidence.
Exactly.
If we get at them like we can, this gives me massive confidence.
Yeah, we have that power. We just need to play with our strengths, and we have the strength of 1-on-1. We barely use it apart from Rotor, honestly, 1-on-1. Recently, we barely use it, And the last final three ones, here we have a goal kick, and we have the wall formation showing a goal kick. The ball is here. Fox is jumping with the striker. As you can see, this was the formation on a goal kick from the Birmingham goalkeeper. Pal here, Smith here, Dykes, Cher, Field, and Dozzle, and you have 3. Now, if
at the back,
exactly 3-2 at the back.
From a goal
at the back, and the ball, this aerial duel is won by the Birmingham player. So the ball goes here. It's 3 against 2.
Wow.
Because
the goal kick, that's wild, mate. That's wild from a goal kick.
Yeah. And we have also the example, similar one, of a through ball, similar situation, not a goal kick. The ball is here. Miyoshi again. They pass the ball to Miyoshi. Pal again follows his man. His man goes in behind, and he can play the 1-on-1 against Fox. Again, the right winger of Birmingham gets past Pal. Miyoshi goes with the through ball. This player can play the 1-on-1. Fox has to switch. Cook has to mark this one. Miyoshi, of course, will sprint. Dozzle has not the same pace as Miyoshi. And, it's again, if he gets past Fox, again, against 2 players, because Adoma is here. You have Armstrong and Dykes to Oi. Field is again in no man's land.
Very high, yeah.
Yeah. So
big gap between the defence and the midfield, and if you can beat that midfield there.
Look here. Exactly. Yeah. Look here. I think we have the final one. Yeah.
Oh, that's a mess. Oh god.
Yeah.
We're winning this one.
Famous last words, bro.
This is a similar situation, Again, they were done in the middle by a through pass. You have Pal again sprinting back. Cook goes for this man, but there's a man here. Kakai has to fill the gap. Fox is following this one, but all the 3 of them are looking at the ball, actually. Pal again is going back. There's no sign of the midfielders, honestly. You have Dykes here. Adoma is at least not like Smith coming back on defense. But if the ball is not passed with the through ball here, if he turns around, Burke, I think this one is, there's a player going in behind it. There's a free space here to go straight into goal. So, again, the final word is the 3 at the back are too exposed to a risk because the positioning, the 2 high positioning of the, call him wing backs, call him left, right midfielders, left, right winger. So, yeah, I think the final third with the number 10 and the wings, trying to draw these 2 players out of the line, it's fundamental because there'll be spaces for both for Rotor and Pirot for me too. 100%. Especially because Rotor will have the space here if you get those 2 behind, out of the line, and we need those 2 trying to get back to defense and reform a line. If there's a space in the middle, Rotor will have space to attack, to dribble. If the ball gets on the side, we have the space to do a 1-on-1, cross the ball into the middle, and I think this game will be a good game if we play Pyro in the number 9 and play him in his natural positioning and with his natural movements inside the box. And that's, I think that was the final
I don't know the context of that clip, right? But how on earth the striker is further back than the 2 central midfielders would be a worry for me.
Yeah, because it was they were playing with Armstrong and Dykes, both were on the pitch, and they were interchanging. So Dykes was in a little bit more advanced than the 2 midfielders. I think this is the follow through of this one actually. So Dykes was here, yeah.
And they're so high up that midfield, mate. Jesus.
Yeah. So even
do you expect them to? Do you expect this at Ellen Road as well? Because that's at Birmingham, right?
Yeah, at Birmingham.
Yeah. So
you
it's
know
away
what?
from home as well.
Actually, Ainsworth said that I want 2 wins out of 2 this week. I want to win at Ellen Road and I want to win at home against Blackburn Rovers.
Oh,
So
interesting.
they've played with this system every game.
Right.
I won't play this system if I were them, honestly. Like I said, my ideal formation would be this one, with those 2 staying back, not playing Kakai in the back 3. I will play with 3 physical players like Craig Salter, Don, and Cook, who can also form a solid backline for me. And I'll play Kakai and Pal, because Kakai cannot play in a back 3. He cannot play. They're better suited for a back 5, you know. And I play with 2 more balanced players who can play a low block. Phil needs to stay behind. And I'll try to defend and counter-attack with Chair and Armstrong. And when I'm in a difficult situation, send the ball, long ball, route 1, you know, to my number 9, Lyndon Dykes. Yeah, that's how I will play the game. But I think Ainsworth has a different game plan, you know, to ours. Yeah. So, okay, fine.
Good stuff. Cool. Thank you very much for that, Andrea. An
course.
in-depth look at QPR, as always. So make sure you smash a like on the video, because that takes a lot of work, a lot of dedication. And they're both legends for when they take the time to do that. So make sure you smash your like and pay the rent, and follow both of these guys on their respective channels and social medias. Now, Richard Paget, I think, says we need to win tomorrow. We certainly do, mate. We certainly do. I have to agree with you there, mate. It's not. I'm not saying it's like must win, you know, but I just feel that we need to try and rein this top 2 in. I mean, Ipswich have battered Hull tonight 3-0. Middlesbrough are starting to win back-to-back wins and stuff. So I just don't want us in that mix. I want us pulling away from the mix. Do you know what I mean? So we need to start getting some. It's mad, isn't it? I say we need to start getting some wins. We were unbeaten in 6 prior to Southampton. I don't know. I just think it was a massive kick in the teeth and wasn't expected.
We want 2 wins in a row from the next 2 home games.
Yeah, true.
We need to return to the pressing too.
Yeah.
We need to return to the pressing too.
Yeah. We
bring back the
definitely
pressing.
need to do it. Yeah. Having seen that, Lockie, you said it made you confident.
Yeah.
How do you see Leeds being able to, I guess, negate what QPR are going to try and do and create chances? Like, where's the key personnel? What's the key things Leeds United need to do?
If from them screenshots, if they play like they did in the previous every other game, which I imagine they will do, I don't think they'll change it for just 1 game. If that's their style, when we win that ball high up, or I guess high up for them, you know, deep for us in our defensive third, it looks like there's a lot of space for our front 3 to move around and pick the ball up and run them, like we saw against Watford at times. Because some of them screenshots there, Andre, was similar to what you showed with Watford, where they were sitting deeper, and some of the gaps in that low block, and we exploited Watford. Same thing, we picked up gaps in midfield, gaps in between the midfielders and defenders, gaps out wide, and that's how we beat Watford. We played better stuff, we found the gaps, and we exploited them with our quality front players that we do have, who on their day can score 5 or 6 goals in this league, and that will happen at some point, and I'm waiting for it.
I think it will as well at some point. Let's see then how we envisage this Leeds United team to line up tomorrow. How we expect he's going to do it. Now, normally I fill them in. The only 2 I've filled in that I know are shoe-ins are Meslier and Ampadu. I think the rest could be up for contention, really. We'll start like we do from back to front. Left back. Still no Junior Firpo. I don't think he exists anymore. Are we expecting... If I'm being honest now, I think Luke Ayling will come back in at right back.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think so.
Does that mean we have Byron playing at left back, or will it be Jamie Shackleton? Can Byron play midweek as well as, you know, on the weekend?
Farke did mention today that the difference between dropping him pre-season mid-game last week, the other week when we did it, was because of the short space we had between the 2 games. And he mentioned specifically this week they've had more rest, which will help Sam Byram.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly what I said. The chat might help, but near the end of the Sam Byram talk, it was kind of like, we'll see how he feels type thing. So I imagine that will be a tonight. How are you feeling after training?
Yeah.
So hopefully he's good. Hopefully he can, and hopefully he does. For me personally.
So if say Byram says yes, I'm good to go, you'd imagine Farker says right, you're playing.
100%. Yeah.
Is that the
because
thought
I
process?
was listening to did you say in his previous interview that was it the Rob Edwards?
Could have been.
Rob Edwards.
Yeah.
He's talking about it's Sam Byram and down to him how he feels in his body as well. If he feels because you can do the scans and stuff, but how does he feel? Because he knows the feeling of when he's about to get injured.
His body. Yeah.
So they ask him the final question. It's down to him basically. So hopefully he feels good.
Good stuff. Do you all agree that Luke Ayling comes in at right back? Sorry.
Yeah, I think I
thought Shackleton was poor last time. He was poor.
Yeah,
I'm
honestly,
not saying Ayling would have been any better, but I thought it was poor, Andrea.
Yeah, I think honestly for the type of game, I'll play with Ayling this time. Honestly, because of course he has been struggling recently, but with this type of game, I think Shackleton will struggle more against, for example, Chair, because Chair also likes to play to cut behind the right centre back and the right back. So I think Ayling will need to play more narrow with the right centre back, and I think not stretching forward in that specific case, not following his man out of the line would be a good decision from him. I think this time not leaving the line, the back four when we're defending. Honestly,
where's Cher been playing, Andre?
Who?
Cher, where's he been playing this season mainly?
Yeah, he's playing behind the striker. They play usually with those two advanced midfielders who can either be on the wing. It depends on the type of player they have. When they play with Cher and we look, they stay more central, and then Cher has free roam like Rotor, for example, and he can drift wide. He can go to the other side. He's like the creative advanced playmaker. He's like he's the star basically, clearly. And Willock has similar characteristics in certain cases, but of course it's not the creativity and the technique of Cher. So he's also like an advanced midfielder, properly advanced midfielder in those cases. If they play with Smith and Armstrong, it's different because basically Cher will be the number 10, and they will have like a second striker basically if they play with Smith or Armstrong in that position.
Okay.
The last time against Coventry, they played with Willock and Cher and Smith on the right. So they overload on that side because they had Smith when they need to do the one-on-one, and they had centrally Willock and the Cher, but Cher was also drifting wide on the left. And when he wasn't, he was throwing central. They had Pal overlapping, and Cher was moving there in order to be a link up between those players, Pal and the midfield, especially when he was staying central. But yeah, I'll play Ayling. Honestly, I would like to see Ayling and Byron this time for this specific game. Byron for the attack and Ayling for the defensive side. Honestly, I won't like to see him honestly going too high on the pitch on this game. I think he will need to create narrowness between the right back and the right centre back for me.
Nice. Okay, so centre back positions. Everyone's favourite centre back, Liam Cooper. Are we going for?
Yeah, of course.
No, not this time.
I'm joking.
No, yeah. I think Joe Rodon comes straight back in, and then we have Pascal Struijk in his favoured left centre-back position. I think that's part of the problem with me with bringing in Cooper. And I know you've said it before, Andrea. Next time, if any of them just bring in Creswell, because as good as Struijk was, I think he was the only decent player last time out. He still lacks so much on the right-hand side as opposed to the left. So for me, don't also move him out of his best position just to accommodate Cooper. Just fucking bring in Creswell, man. He signed a new deal. There's a reason for that. Fucking play the kid. But yeah, anyway. Strauchan, Rodon, Ayling, Byram. Back four. Probably the best back four, regardless of what you think of Ayling, we've had all season as a unit. Bring Spence into that, it obviously improves. Number 6, obviously Ampadu. He's never not coming out.
Yeah.
He weren't great at the weekend. I know you said before you felt like he hid Lockie, but he has to play, right? There's no one 100%. Close to him.
Yeah, everyone has difficult games.
Yeah,
and to be fair to Southampton, they did put 2 guys right next to him. Like Cardiff did in the first half.
100%. Yeah.
So gotta be.
Do we as good? Look, Gray's got to come in back in for me. Yeah,
I agree.
Do you think? Yeah.
I
think Kamara was. Yeah, he went missing a bit, didn't he? As well, I don't think he impacted the game at all, really, at the weekend.
No, it was the switch on, switch off version of Kamara. That one. We
Yeah.
talked about it when we signed him. You know, sometimes he switches off, and sometimes when he's on, he's a very good player. Yeah. But you know, this time I think Gray. Of course, we've seen him covering the right hand side of the pitch. In
much better.
In the previous game.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And also this time, you know, we probably tend to forget that for England he played as a fullback, and he has also some attacking characteristics and skills, you know. So I said previously we need to. I think there's space for one of our midfielders to follow the attack, made a central cut, and have a shooting opportunities from outside the box. And I think that player is great because he has a very good shot from outside the box for me. And I think with this specific game, especially if they're going toe to toe with let's say Field or Dozzle, Field and Dozzle, or Field and Colback, I think Gray can be the one creating problems in their midfield duo. I think centrally.
Yeah, for
going forward. Yeah,
he's a lot quicker as well. Gray and a lot more energy.
Exactly.
Against Colback.
Remember the shot he made against, it was, I think, Man United, I think, in one of the preseason friendlies. You know, he has a very good shot from outside the box. Similar to his ancestors, you know.
Yeah.
Definitely. Right, okay. This is where I think we might... Do you know what? I think Bamford might play.
Okay.
Is he ready to play from the start? I don't know, honestly.
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not.
Did Farker mention him today, Andrea? I don't think he did he?
Right now I can't recall, but I think he mentioned that he's fit, of course.
He mentioned Dallas had a slight setback.
Yeah, so Dallas has just like a minor setback, Firpo is not ready. But Bamford can play, of course. I think for this specific game, I will go with Pyro, honestly.
Pyro, yeah.
Pyro, I need to remember the chant to get the costume with the pronunciation, because Pyro in the 9, because I think, like I said, you know, I think we'll have opportunities on the side to get the ball into the middle, into the box, and I think Pyro is good in doing that. You know, he's like a fox in the box, so he needs to stay in the box, not going outside and to play like an older player with 2 touches and then sprinting very, very slowly towards the box. He needs to stay near the box. The only problem, and we mentioned it with Loki on the final word, is that he doesn't press the defense. He needs to start pressing the defense. Of course, it's not his main skill, but he needs to learn it, because Bamford does that pretty well when he's fit.
All day, yeah.
Or at least do what Rutter did, where he just cut half the pitch off, you know, between centre backs. They can't pass it across. At least do that. At least do something. Rutter's got to play, and you put him in there. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, in this game, he's going to get space. Just turn their midfielders. He's quicker than them. He's more powerful. Get him in some areas like against Watford and just let him run riot this one, I think.
No, I think that's fair. Left, right. See, for me, I don't want James starting. That's my thing. I don't want James starting. I want to start Jadon Anthony.
Anthony,
I want to see Anthony too.
Anthony.
I want to see him. I'm not seen enough of him yet. I want to see him.
Yeah.
I like him.
Do you think we... Go on.
Yeah, which side I think you're going to ask, right, Joe?
He'd have to play on the left, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would.
Yeah, natural foot for me.
And I like the connection
natural
between
position.
him,
Sorry,
him and Jorginho Rutter when Anthony came on. I like that. It was a good connection, some good movement. Yeah.
See, I wouldn't mind. To be honest, I wouldn't mind this because I was really, and then
that's a good shout.
Because I was really impressed with Rutter out on the right. I don't think he will, but I thought he looked good on the right. But anyway,
that's a good shout. Honestly, that's a really good shout. This one, yeah.
Do we think it'll be Somerville, or will it be James?
No, Somerville has to be Somerville.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
impact sub, James. Impact sub. Yeah. Absolutely. Now
Somerville did annoy me at the thing though.
Yeah,
but look, everyone has them days. Don't they? I don't think some of the players were at it at all in every way, mentally and physically. They just didn't seem to be responding to what we needed. So give him a chance at Ellen Road again.
Yeah.
He can cause that problems massively, 100%.
100%. And I think Anthony's due a start now because every time he's come on, he's impacted. He's been involved, you know. He could have scored against Millwall. He did score against Watford. And then against Southampton, although the game were gone, he still got on the ball. He impacted it. And I think for me, 90 minutes with him running at you, I think it's a shoe-in.
I think Anthony as well, he's not an unknown quantity. He's done it at this level. He's very decent in that Bournemouth team. So it's not like a risk, you know. He can do it at this level easily.
Yeah,
same can't be said for them that have gone to Bournemouth the other way, by the way, is it? They're not really doing anything, are they?
Struggling out there, that's it.
Adams is out again.
Is he?
Yeah, apparently he's out for a long time again.
Yeah. Good.
And Sinisterra is not into the team right now. He's not doing that, you know. But what surprised me, you know, Anthony, we signed him. He was ready, fit to start. Yeah. He was hailed as one of the best players in pre-season by the Bournemouth fans. He had appeared in all the Premier League games so far before he signed for us when we swapped with Sinisterra, you know. I'm surprised he didn't have more opportunities so far into the team, because ideally this was, of course, not at the same level, but this was the direct replacement for Sinisterra. Honestly, I'm surprised he didn't get more minutes, honestly, because he was a player who featured in all the Premier League games for Bournemouth since the start of the season, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. I think with Farke, he won't. I don't know. It seems to me you have to earn your place. You have to come in, impress, and then get it. But I agree with you. I'd have started him straight away, especially over James. But
I guess it's just him kind of saying, "Look, I know you play in the Premier League. I know you're good at the Premier League, but it's not a shoe in here. You've got to perform well. You've got to keep doing it in training and be patient.
Attitude and all that sort of stuff as well. He's quite big on that.
I do want to see him. I want to see him.
Yeah, and I think we will. I think we will see him. I think we'll see him from the start. It'd be interesting to see. But that's our lineup, folks. So Melly in goal, Byram left back, Strauch, Rodon, and Ayling at right back. Midfield 2, Ampadu, Gray. In the 10, Rutter, Pirro 9, Anthony off the left, and Somerville off the right. Look, at the end of the day, it's going to look a whole lot better when we've got Jed Spence at right back, when you've got Willie Nonto as an option as well that you can play. He's a top player, you know. It will get better. Look, I was saying we're winning the fecking league after Watford, and then Southampton's given me a little bit of a kick up the arse, but you know, we'll see. Hopefully we can win the game, and we will get into predictions now. Obviously last week, folks, there were no points because we all went for Leeds wins. I went for 4-1, Andrea went for 4-1, both Pirro and Rutter scoring. Lockie went 1-0, so I guess a little bit more like it was Somerville, and the guest went 2-0 Leeds with Pirro. Obviously, it was Southampton 3-1, and Pascal Strauch got Leeds' first goal. So no points for anybody. Folks, if you start getting in the chat now, your score prediction as well as the goal scorer, we'll go through that as well. I'll start us off as per. I am going to go for Leeds United win. If we score early, it could be a rout. I mean that. But I'm just not convinced we're going to score early. I think it might be a little bit nervy after Southampton. I think the crowd as well might be a little bit nervy, if I'm honest. Hold on. Nah, fucking hell.
Tyler Roberts to score.
I'm gonna go 2-0. I'm gonna go 2. However, if we score first, it genuinely could be 3s and 4s. But I am gonna go score early, should I say 2-0 with Anthony as first goal scorer. Lockie.
I'm usually quite sensible on these, so I'm gonna 4-1. I was gonna say 4-0, then no, they'll score.
4-1.
We'll 4-0 we'll get one. Yeah, 4-1. Yeah, we're gonna run riot, hopefully. Who's gonna score the first goal? I still need that Somerville. I'm waiting for Somerville.
Yeah, so I said he could be top scorer at one point. Andrea.
I'm gonna say 3-0 for us.
3-0.
I'm divided between the follow scorer between Archie Gray and Credential Somerville. But yeah, I think Somerville. Yeah, from I run from the wing inside, getting behind, low shot. I think Somerville. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna say Somerville. John Lockie in the Somerville army.
Yeah. I was going to pick Vic Vinegar's 2-0 Anthony and then realised after I'd said mine, I was like, oh, it's the same as his, so I can't do that. Next time, Vic, you will be picked. So we've gone for S. Stacey, who's gone 2-1 Leeds with Pirro first goal. So we'll stick that in there with Pirro first goal. So we'll wait and see how that transpires. How's the nerves now, lads? Are you? Because I'm not overly confident, as you can tell, probably.
I'm all right, mate.
You're all right about it?
Yeah, I'm not that. Yeah. It's what it is. We'll
like
come back with vengeance after that battering. Yeah. Well, not battering, but outplayed at times. So we'll come back.
It was confident. A bit of a battering, man.
Yeah, so first half definitely. We were all right second, but we were already 3-0 down. So it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah. But I'm confident in the lads. I think they'll pull it out. Farcrow getting motivated. Yeah, Ireland Road as well. Two home games. Just get 6 points. Just bring it back in our house.
I still think had Pirro's touch been better with that ball from Rutter and he finds the back of the net, we go on and win that game. Because it'd have been 2 goals in quick succession. The crowd, Southampton, that have crumbled. But that was the moment. I said it on the watch along at the time. I was like, that was the moment. Because what a pass it was by Rutter, by the way. All he needs is one touch in, and it's in the back of the net, and he just gets his... I think it comes off his trailing leg, and
Yeah, it was too slow, wasn't it? I'm good, though. I'm not going to be able to watch this one. This is the first game in about 3 years that I won't be able to see.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Got football
Why is that? Football stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be able to watch it too because I'm out tomorrow night too.
We're not real fans.
That's a first. That's a first. It's a first for both. First time we don't watch it at the same time. You're lucky.
I might have a stream on my phone.
Do you know if we win and we win well, if we batter them, you're not allowed to watch it ever again.
That's fine by me. As long as they're winning.
That's all that matters, isn't it?
I try to follow it to the phone, but we'll see.
I'll have Phil Hurst tweets on my phone and refreshing Twitter every 5 seconds.
Yeah, do it, man. Just checking now. Kick-off tomorrow, folks, is 7:45. I'll be live from 6:45 for the watch along. Obviously, you can get it on the red button in the UK. Every midweek game, you can get it on Sky, which is good. So we can watch that together. So make sure you join me at 6:45. We're all going for Leeds United wins. Some more confident than others, but hopefully, as the title says, we'll be bouncing back for 3 points. And if we do bounce back for 3 points, we'll all be buzzing going into Bristol City. And then obviously it's like 6 points and then another international break, another opportunity to maybe get Spence back, to maybe get Firpo back and have an even better squad because injuries are going in the right direction for us for a change. So yeah, let's make sure it happens. Danny says, great stream, Joe, Lockie and Russo. Thank you very much always for the lovely support.
The song from Wish now. I'm Will Strike and Pirro, John, Lockie and Russo. the Wish version,
So yeah, brilliant. Right, folks, we'll leave it there. Thanks as always for watching, and we will see you. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, and these lads will probably see you on the final word if they're about. Peace out, folks.